dispatched him into the Multnomah County Jail on a probation violation. Similar to the first arrest, he is on court supervision, so he's able to be held as investigators continue their work in investigating in this case. Obviously a very active investigation. We've got two people arrested that were involved. We're looking for a third. We've recovered one firearm thus far.
How do you believe this person was involved?
The detectives haven't given a lot of details yet on what each role was. We obviously still have a third person outstanding there, and until we get that person in custody and talk to them, we don't want to share too many details because there's obviously still investigating to do.
As far as the search warrant that you guys served the night of the shooting, can you talk about how that's connected to either one of these arrests?
The search warrant done on Friday night, late Saturday morning, was the residence of the first person arrested. He lived there with his family. I don't know that we recovered any evidence of value from that location. We did recover the firearm from him upon his arrest. That gun will be tested by the state crime lab, and they will examine the evidence of the scene and try to compare the two.
Bottom of your release mentioned school on Monday. Why is that important? Why are you guys going to have their presence?
Well, kids go back to school tomorrow, both at Jefferson, Rosemary Anderson, POIC, as well as PCC, and you have something like this happen in the neighborhood, and everybody's feelings of safety is shaken, and so we are going to be out there in the morning. Our Youth Services Division, North Precinct officers, the gang enforcement team will all be out there. North Precinct Command and other invited folks from the police bureau will be out there around 9:30 in the morning as well to walk in the neighborhood and really show solidarity with the folks in the neighborhood. They've worked very hard to make it safer in that area, and we want to continue that effort and show that this kind of behavior is not going to be tolerated.
These two gentlemen were arrested on probation violations. Do you expect there to be charges filed against them in this shooting?
Yeah, detectives will be working with the DA's office to determine what types of charges should be levied in this case. The probation violation warrants allow them to be booked in a jail. It allows detectives to continue their investigation without having to decide on charges right away, especially when you have a multiple suspect investigation. It can be very complicated if you charge one person one day and you still haven't located or arrested the other people. So that's the decision making that's going on right now. But certainly in the next few days, charges could be added to either or both of the people we have in custody.
Can you tell us why these guys were on probation or parole?
I don't have information on what their backgrounds are. Background check or criminal check should be able to tell you any kind of convictions or the county court tomorrow.
And the answer that you were saying is that at least Lonzo was a person of interest. Are you more confident saying that he's a suspect?
He remains a person of interest, as does the man arrested yesterday. We believe they're involved in the case. To what degree, yet is still to be determined. We are still looking for a third person. Detectives are working that aspect of the case. Continuing to ask for the public's help. Any more information about this certainly should be called.
Just to clarify, your release tonight said that Taylor Zimmer had been upgraded from serious to critical condition. Yesterday she was changed from critical to serious. Is that
it's the same, yeah. It's
so she's in serious, not
yeah,
critical.
I think the upgrade should have been taken out today.
Okay, just wanted
I think the way the medical people refer to upgrade is a good thing. So she went from critical to serious on Saturday. Mr. Jackson Lyde remains in the hospital in fair condition, and Mr. Franklin was released yesterday.
Has the public involvement been of any help getting these two gentlemen off the street?
Well, my understanding is there has been some input from the community folks and some witnesses. Certainly not to the level of which we would hope, but there have been people that have come forward with information that's helpful, and these kinds of cases require that. We need the community to take those steps and provide information to investigators. In many cases, we have a great idea who's involved. We have a great idea who may have done it, but without those eyewitness statements and evidence to corroborate those statements, it's very hard to make a case. The people that have come forward should be applauded for doing that, for standing up for the neighborhood, and for taking an approach that this isn't acceptable behavior.
Can you tell us where and when this guy was picked up yesterday?
My understanding is parole and probation took custody of him. I don't know where, and he was brought to North Precinct where the detectives work and the gang enforcement team. And he was booked into jail around, I believe, 7 o'clock last night.
Why the delay on announcing it?
Detectives contacted me today, and we talked about strategically releasing information. I mean, a lot of times there's a lot of investigating going on behind the scenes that most people don't know about, and we want to provide information as soon as practicable, both to the public but also for the investigators.